wyzwanie.
Somebody on a beach many years ago, maybe 26 years ago, gave me Zhou Chang's copy. Zhou Chang is like a ntact type of writer who writes a book about how to control the semen. And I always was interested in that, and then I began to practice it using Zhou Chang's methods. But I've practiced it over 25 years now. It was very good for me, and then I didn't really read ntact or people said you must read Multi-Orgasmic Man, but I'm not using that sort of style anymore. In fact, I hardly read any books. I might pick one up and go like this and read something, but I don't really read so many books, because I got exhausted reading books with my eyes when I was younger. I read a book where they said during orgasm, to prevent the semen going into the female, you should grasp the testicles firmly and pull downwards. This is a sort of knowledge that this is a visit to the emergency hospital, isn't it? Sometimes, or a recipe for divorce, this type of action in an untrained way. So I saw many things like this. I have friends who were impregnated by a man who's told his girlfriends that he could mentally control the fertility of his semen. And then when she became pregnant, he went to the next woman and told her the same story and moved around impregnating. And there are many, many things that forced me into writing The Way of Good Sex. But I had these two things going in my life: the sacred geometry and the practice of Tao, doing workshops in Tao and teaching Tao methods. So obviously I picked up my own way of doing it, and I downloaded what I call stop using the word channeling, but I brought down more information about how to fit the whole thing into the solar year, and also how to different ways of practicing movements of the energy, the male energy to the top of the head and things like that. So I've modified a great deal of what is becoming standard sort of Taoist practice. So that's all written in my book. The main advice, to go beyond the politics of longevity. That the politics of longevity is the politics of longevity now is to die early and to spray your seed as fast as you can in as many places as you can. So the education of a harmonic balance between the male and the female, and this is part of that education, will bring massive changes to the world. And it was a political decision to create slave soldiers to withdraw the knowledge of natural contraception. So every shining tiger, every person who wants to make changes in societies needs to know this type of thing. And me, I'm 59. I've just finished the rainbow. Here, I haven't had a shower today, so I'm looking pretty grungy, but I clean out well. I look much younger without a beard, because my beard is grey. And if you look here, I'm just getting my first white hair. There it is. Oh, no, there's more. There's about 4 there, and same down, So this is a part of the whole longevity training. And I've just been dancing over there, and I'm fit. I've just been breaking wood over there. I did 7 years as a market gardener recently, making about 50% of the winter vegetables for about 10 families. So that's a fair amount of power that you can produce by the retention of semen. But more important, the message in my book is that the female has to do the same, I don't know what you call it, Mulla Bandha, Kegel, but I actually include a lot of the muscles, especially the frontal abdominal, and the, what do you call these, the transverse abdominals as well, as part of this contraction. Not the top part, but certainly the bottom part underneath the navel, and include that in contractions. And the female has the same story. She should do this and close her muscles on just below the head of the penis, in the same time that the man closes his muscles to stop the semen going into the body and becoming activated. So this is a really important thing to know. And of course, and the extra part of that is the circulation of the energy, which for me I now change to circulate into the top of the head, right at the top of the head, never mind where on the top of the head, as long as it's somewhere on the top of the head in the midline for the male. And this is a sort of revolutionary thing, but it's not me calling me, it's more sort of like checking with my dowsing rods allows you to leap forward in belief systems, in educational systems. You know, it gives you an advantage having a meditation partner or guide, ally, guide spirit, whatever you want to call them. And in my case, I've managed to take down a lot of information that is important to the world. Very nice to meet you two. Yeah, they say, don't they, that it's the most difficult thing to learn. And in the beginning, some people are stopped by the difficulty, but it only takes 20 days to pump up the muscles. And you pump up the blood supply, the nerve supply to these muscles, and then you can really start to begin to extend your sex life. And most men find it difficult not to come, especially if they have a beautiful partner. And this is something that they can extend the time that they. In fact, most people who get really into this are actually much more into the flow of energies between the partners, or into the female orgasm, because they can extend their lovemaking beyond 15, 20, 25 minutes. So then they can make love longer. So yeah, the difficulties are right at the beginning, but as you do it more and more, your body stops saying to you, "Are you fucking joking?" and stuff like that, and then you start to say, "No, I'm not joking. We're going to go do this, and we're going to keep on going." So it becomes a battle with desire. So in the end, you get this really beautiful, I don't know, interflow between yourself and your desires that is very beneficial, and you feel younger as well. Making love becomes a youthful act instead of a exhausting act, and it's basically this muscle locks and the muscle locks tilt the energy into the base of the spine, and usually I teach to bring it up to here on the back of the neck, this bony one. So breathing in to lock sexual energy to here during orgasm, breathing out, and then the male to here, or the female, she takes it down, and the tongue to the roof of the mouth, back of tongue forward, so it's not touching the back of the throat, and then down to the navel or somewhere in this area, you know. Some women who are using my practices, they say they don't need to revert the energy to the womb, which is just above the pubis, I'm led to understand. So they don't need to revert it because it'll do it anyway for most women. But men, when they've made love a number of times, they'll have a build-up of energy here from circulating the sexual energy, and then you revert it. You just focus on spiraling the energy down slowly, and you can even see like a drip or something going into the center of your head, and then you'll experience something like like an orgasm.